Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword with you once again. Yes, here we are with a new knife from Miguron. They also refer to themselves as AMeight, and it used to be an A and an M and a numeral 8, and now they've gone to AMeight knives. I'm not sure if you can see that. There you go. And you can barely see it there in the label, but this one is called the Glear. Not clear, but Glier. Not sure what that means. You may know, and if you do, let me know. Maybe it's just the name they picked. So, I saw this shown off on the YouTube channel for White Mountain Knives. They're doing a great job with pulling us in with so many beautiful videos of knives they're stocking that you just go out there and you spend your money, you know. That's what I did. Titanium handle with a light diamond sort of texture, and comes in a few different flavors. This one I liked because I like bronzed hardware. And there it is, an interesting blade shape and an interesting steel that we don't see all that often on production knives. I've seen it on some Tucson's. Yes, it's S90V. And I'm not sure what the Rockwell is. They did not state it. I know with the higher end steels, we're now talking a lot about whether the full value and potential for the steel is being advantaged by hardening it up to near the threshold, the highest possible hardness. Well, that may be a discussion for another day or another reviewer. I'm simply going to say it's a premium steel. It's S90V. It's a tall, flat ground blade with a one flat and a fuller down the middle. Pretty simple. Some nicely colored brass thumb studs, as well as a flipper that stands pretty proud and is pretty well jimped. You're not going to miss flipping that one. You're going to hit it every time. I'd say the same pretty much with the thumb studs. It breaks pretty hard. So you're going to, when you push on those thumb studs, you're not going to be rolling it out. It's going to break and flip. You may or may not like that. Either way, you get a crisp opening. You get a fuller up here, You get a choil up here. It's a term that came from swords. A lot of people say it doesn't belong on knives. Call it what you want. There's a spot for your finger there if you want to use it. And a very squared off sort of handle with one finger groove. And a pretty nice relief for releasing the lock. It is a locking bar frame lock knife, hardened steel insert. And it's breaking in. It's smooth, extremely smooth on bearings. Maybe slightly on the stiff side, but I would just leave this one be and it's going to break in nicely. They do a nice job on their knives. Let's measure it up. Somebody saw my video on this on my short and said, oh, I hope it's 4 inches. Sorry to disappoint, it's not, but 8.5 inches overall. And yeah, 3 3/4 inch blade with a slipped off there. Cutting edge like 3.65, something like that. So what do we have here for a nice thin handle? Yes. Right. I'm going to call it right on a 1/2 inch. Let's try that all over again. 1/2 inch, I'm going to call that. It likes to move around. Blade stock, 0.12 millimeters. 3 millimeters right on the nose. weight. It's a pretty light knife, and it is milled out. I'm going to take a look at that in a minute. We know that ain't right. Okay. Somehow or other I switched it to probably grams. 4.44 ounces. 4.5 ounces. Not bad. Let's take a look at that weight relieving. Always interesting to see what they do to lighten the load a little for us. So there you go. A couple of big pockets there. 3 really. 3 on that side. And on the lock bar side, also 3. So quite a bit of weight relieving since it's a solid titanium handle. They took it out from the inside. I would say, and nice jumping on this, by the way. I'm not sliding, not going anywhere. Short run of it. Very grabby. If you are the type of user that likes to lay your thumb on the back, Filipino style, they call that Filipino style because, you know, that's sort of how they use the knives in the sock position, meaning edge forward, point up. Good, useful utility sort of blade. Straight back, no drop to it, fairly high grind, and it did come through quite sharp. How sharp? Let me see. Oh, grabby sharp. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. It's pretty complete with micro serrations, which is why the paper cut's not going to be really smooth. So if you want an aggressive grabby edge, this S90V blade definitely comes through with a very aggressive edge for cutting things that aren't paper, soft stuff, fleshy stuff, you know. Although really, you know, this is really set up more like a utility knife. I wouldn't call this a tactical knife, but any knife can be put to play for tactical. Depends on the user. Now they come in, I showed you the box. Miguron tends to use these drawer style, almost like a fabric covered box. You got your microfiber cloth. You got a little card inside. And while it doesn't give you dimensions or specs or anything, it gives you some ways to get in touch with them. Wanted to show you the Morad. Little different blade shape, drop point we've got going on here, and we've got a nice carbon fiber inlay, only on one side. In some respects similar in the handle treatment, although we've got more of a swoop going in here and more of a big finger choil there. Oh, he's got paper residue left over. And we've got a satin blade on this, whereas we've got definitely a bead blast going on the, what are we calling this now? The Glier. Somehow, can't remember names like Glier. Maybe Glier. Let me show you another one. Let's see, let me find it. This is interesting because this is kind of a dead ringer, but a budgety knife. And I'm going to do a review on this one next, probably. But look at the blade. Very, very, very similar. And this one is simply called the Pagos or Pagos front flipper. Because, yeah, it's a front flipper. And also has the thumb studs. Don't want to preempt this one yet, because that review is coming up soon. But there was one other that I wanted to show you by Miguron. And that would be the very well-known Velona. And this is a big old blade. Look how long that blade is. That's a full 4 inches and then some. And a nice budget price on this knife. This is the first one to come out. And the steel on this, I'm not sure if they're showing it on the knife, but it is on the box. Steel on that guy is, nope, they're not going to give it to me. It's something or other 53. So if you look for my review on this, you'll find it. Hard to remember it all. Beautiful, smooth knife on this Velona, though. Oh my God. Silky, silky smooth. But that's another Miguron knife. And then did I bring the big boy down? I probably didn't. I think I didn't bring the big tank of a knife down. But check out the Miguron knives at White Mountain. You're going to see a lot of variety. They make definitely some very, very, very interesting blades. And in this case, very useful. Saw this, liked it, and I think you won't be disappointed. I think they're coming in for around $2 bills. Let's do a quick compare before we leave with Griptilian. Bigger than a Griptilian. Yep. Is it going to be bigger than the Rat 1? Nobody's bigger than the Rat 1, right? I think we're going to be right in the ballpark there. Yep, almost dead on. I think this is just nosing it out slightly. So pretty much if you want to know the size of this knife, the same size as the Rat 1. Well, blade fans, hope you enjoyed this one. This is the Glier, should I not forget again, by AMeight Knives, which is a Miguron knife company. So many names for so many knives. I will be back with you soon. We got lots of knives in these days, so should be dropping almost one a day. Enjoy, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Much appreciated.